Hello, I'm Kirk Lyons, Chief Trial Counsel of the Southern Legal Resource Center. I'm here to talk to you today about the Bazz Childress case involving our client, Bazz Childress, who is suing the Wingate Wyndham Hotel in Concord, North Carolina. Why would anybody want to sue a hotel? Well, back in 2008, the National Sons of Confederate Veterans Reunion was held in Concord, North Carolina. It was a big convention supported by the county. The county gave $18,000 to the Sons of Confederate Veterans Reunion Committee to help put on that convention. Many of the hotels, as a matter of fact, all of the hotels in that area were called to offer discount rates, including the Wingate Wyndham Hotel. So the hotels knew who the SCV were, knew that these were men proud of their Southern heritage. Their cars had Confederate flags on them. Their shirts had Confederate patches on them. Their hats had Confederate flags on them. So when Bazz Childress checked into the Wingate Wyndham, he did so to host a hospitality room, which had been an aspect of the SCV reunions for almost 13 years. As a 33-year member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, I can say of my own personal knowledge that I have been to all of the Kentucky Division parties held at the national reunions, and it is a tradition that many people that attend the reunion wanted to take part in. So Bazz rented a room, a hospitality room, so that he could hold the Kentucky Division party, and he festooned it with flags and put a Confederate flag in the window. Well, not very much time passed, and he paid for the room, by the way. He got the discount rate, so he got the discount rate for the room by virtue of being a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, which had been worked out by the reunion committee. All of a sudden, he starts getting calls. You have to take the flag down. Well, when he checked into the room, nobody told him that there was a no-flag policy. Nobody told him he couldn't have anything in the room. Nobody told him, or anything that he signed said that he could not display a flag in the room in the window. So now he starts getting calls from the manager. He gets another call from the general manager, and then the owner of the hotel comes and orders him to take the flag down or face arrest. Well, Bazz has been in the SCV long enough to know that we get pushed around a lot at hotels. We're told to take down flags. We're told to get out. We're told, you're not wanted here. We want your money, but we don't really give a rip about your heritage. And so why don't you just take that down, or we'll, tear up the contract that your reunion has with the hotel. He was tired of that. And so he said, no, I'm not going to take the flag down. Well, the owner shows up, and in a long dialogue witnessed by about 40 people, he finally, Bazz made the decision he would not take the flag down, and he was arrested by Concord police officers who were called by the owner, Joel Griffin. So now he's arrested for taking the flag down. The Sons of Confederate Veterans voted unanimously the next day to support the Bazz Childress Defense Fund to make sure that he was acquitted from the charge of criminal trespass for which he had been arrested. The GEC, the General Executive Committee of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, voted unanimously to allow the Sons of Confederate Veterans Kentucky Division to raise money for the Bazz Childress Defense Fund. The only problem was, at first, we had to resolve the charges in his favor. Bazz is very ably defended by an attorney from Concord, Chris McCartan, and on the second appearance of this case, the charges were voluntarily dismissed by the defendant, by the hotel and Joel Griffin. So this led the path open for a lawsuit. In December of 2009, with a local attorney by the name of Jefferson Vandale Mavrito, the Southern Legal Resource Center filed a lawsuit against Concord Hospitality Associates and Joel Griffin as the owners of the franchise of the Wingate Wyndham Hotel in Concord. There were essentially two causes of action: malicious prosecution for basically hounding the cops into arresting him maliciously and with malice, and breach of contract because they broke the contract by evicting him with no good reason from his room and having him arrested. The lawsuit seeks punitive damages against the hotel and the owner for having him ejected, and that punitive damages is basically punishment. So the lawsuit was filed, and as we predicted, the owners filed a motion to dismiss. A motion to dismiss is generally filed at the outset of a lawsuit by defendants, and it is done in lieu of an answer. So they're basically saying, The plaintiffs have failed to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, and the lawsuit should be dismissed on its face as of no account, and we predicted that this would happen, and so we had a very good brief ready for that motion to dismiss. They filed for hearing, and the hearing was held on March the 15th. Bazz came down from Kentucky, and Bazz Childress is a bank vice president. He's not your typical redneck plumber or motorcyclist or somebody with a Confederate flag tattoo on his arm. He's a bank vice president, Navy veteran, and he was outraged at what happened to him and wanted to prosecute this suit to send a message that the sons of Confederate veterans and Bazz Childress are not going to take this kind of second-class citizen being foisted off on us by corporate bigots like Wingate Wyndham. So the motion to dismiss was argued before Judge Crosswhite in a Cabarrus County courthouse. The attorney for the defendants wanted all of the case dismissed, and after a 30-minute hearing, after a very able representation of the facts by Mr. Mabrito, the judge said he would take the case under advisement. The allegation of malicious prosecution is one of the things in North Carolina law, is that one of the elements that you have to prove is malice, or that there is a lack of probable cause. And in North Carolina law, if the charge is dismissed in your favor, that is prima facie evidence of a lack of probable cause in their causing the arrest. Now, interestingly enough, we received a call from the court later that afternoon saying that they had dismissed the lawsuit against the owner in his individual capacity, which we still have a lawsuit against the hotel itself, and the court dismissed the malicious prosecution case that we had filed against the defendants. But, interestingly, left the breach of contract claim in the lawsuit. So we now have to determine what is the best way to proceed, whether we will appeal to the Court of Appeals in North Carolina the dismissal of the malicious prosecution case, which is the case of malicious prosecution is the one that has the punitive damages. The breach of contract is an important claim, but the malicious prosecution was the major claim. But we at the Southern Legal Resource Center are very used to the judicial system using a double standard in the way it treats litigants of the Confederate community. There's one rule for everybody else, and then there's a special rule for us. So we're not surprised, and we're prepared for this. And as we plan our legal strategy, know this: if you're of the Confederate community or if you're anti-Confederate community, the Southern Legal Resource Center believes in the Bazz Childress case. It is legally sound. It should not have been dismissed, and we will fight on. Most of the victories won by the Southern Legal Resource Center have been won on appeal, simply because we have come to know as a fact that there is very little justice available for the Confederate community at the local court level. That's just asking for a judge a little too much to find in our favor. So we will fight on, and we will go on, and we ask the sons of Confederate veterans who have pledged to support the Bazz Childress case that you continue your support and increase your support, because we're in for a long siege with these people. They think that we can't fight because we won't have money. They think that they can wait us out and spend all the time in the world tying us up in court. We have to send the message back that we will fight them every step of the way. We will not give up. Our attorneys will fight on for Bazz, and we will eventually prevail in front of a jury. That is what these people have to learn, that we don't go away. We never give up. We keep fighting, and we will push this through until the average American knows that the Confederate community will not be second-class citizens anymore. And this is being fought out right in Concord, North Carolina, one of the homes of NASCAR. So if you have not sent a check to the Bazz Childress Defense Fund, do so today. Make a contribution in whatever amount, a nonprofit tax-deductible contribution, to the Southern Legal Resource Center, P.O. Box 1235, Black Mountain, North Carolina 28711. Do it today. Do it for your children. Protect your heritage and your respect as a Confederate Southern American, and support the Bazz Childress case through the Southern Legal Resource Center. Thank you.